from a rather cold, chilly evening here in Melbourne. Ron and I had been speaking for some length about the situation with CFX, and I've got to tell you, I have certainly I have frustrations, but I have zero, absolutely not an ounce of doubt exists in me about the genuineness of what the company is trying to do. Now, I do a lot of looking into and researching things for my team, and I was talking to Ron about it, and he said, would I mind coming and showing you what I've come up with for my team? So I said, well, look, it's just my views on things and it's just my thoughts, but if you feel it would help people, then by all means, I'm happy to do it. So I'm going to take the screen so I can show this presentation that is the one that I've done for my team. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, then let me just move that out the way and get rid of that. Okay, so what today's presentation is just about is about the state of affairs with Bitcoin withdrawals, cards, and generally about CFX into the near future. Probably the biggest issue that we all are looking at is withdrawals being lined up with Bitcoin payments and the problems that Huascar has with this. Now, we're going to talk about the payout dilemma, and this is looking at it from Huascar's point of view. So you just need to understand this, that if Huascar had purchased Bitcoin at a price of this to do payouts with, everybody along this line wouldn't have a problem because the price of Bitcoin is going up, and so that's favourable to our payouts. The problem that we get is when we have this situation where here at this arrow, Huascar may have purchased some Bitcoin to do payouts, but soon afterwards it turns and it drops. It means that from below this blue line, anybody who cashes out their payment is going to cash out, they're going to cash their Bitcoin for less than what their withdrawal request was. And so people, and you should, just as a matter of course, you should always check before you ever convert your payments to fiat. You should always check what they are before you cash them out. But this is a real life example that I want to go through. This happened on the 15th of July this year at 12:19 p.m. This was the current price of Bitcoin. 40 minutes later, it was here. And this is what happens, that if the company was going to make a $3,000 withdrawal, at the price of Bitcoin was at the time, they would allocate 0.144. You can see the number that they would allocate as a Bitcoin payment to meet that actual payment. Now, 40 minutes later, if that person had cashed it out, they would have cashed it out at a lower price. Now, what happens just very quickly in a showing on a chart is the withdrawal request was 3,000. The actual amount paid was 2,958. So there's a $42 shortfall in what a person thought they were going to get. Now, the company's experience with the way people are is that people complain to the company when this happens that they have been ripped off. So to protect people, and the company does to protect people, they would hold off payments once the value of Bitcoin drops to below what they've paid for it. Now, in this example, there was only a $190 drop in the price of Bitcoin, but imagine what the difference would be if it was 1,000, or even as it has been, a $5,000 drop in a very quick period of time. So a pay run is set up like this. The company will batch up a whole lot of withdrawals that they've decided that they're going to make, and they'll work out, in the case of this example, and I'll show you in a chart why we've taken this particular example later. But we've got a $20 million worth of payments that are going to be made. And the current price of Bitcoin is $40,000 US. And again, like I say, I'll show you where I get these numbers from in a minute. The company would need to buy 500 Bitcoin. So Waskar would, as the process would go, he would sell, he would buy, use the USDT that they've got stored and go ahead and buy that Bitcoin. Now, in the process of this withdrawal payment system, the company have started to pay out $5 million in payments, and Bitcoin drops. There's a sudden drop in Bitcoin. What happens to the company is the payment team just stop. They totally stop what they're doing. And the thing that caused the huge big drop in March, if everybody can remember, was the onset of the war in the Ukraine. It turned everything upside down. And this is what happened here. This is actually what happened with Bitcoin at the end of March. Now, any Bitcoin that has not been paid out or is about to be paid out would be held because of this dropping in price. And it has to be held then until the price comes back up to a point that it is economically feasible for Waskar to actually use it to pay people out. In this example, what happened is 125 Bitcoin had actually been dispersed, which left 375 yet to be moved, but now they've got to be held until it comes back, till the price comes back to the buying price. To complete the pay run, the company has to then go and buy more Bitcoin at a lower new price to continue to be able to pay out the 15 million. What also happens is the 375 Bitcoin that was worth 15 million is now only worth $12 million. So they've lost $3 million in a very, very short period of time if they had actually continued to be paying out with that particular lot of Bitcoin that they'd purchased. If another drop occurs, then the same thing happens again, that they've got to stop again and do a rebuy and then start this whole process over again. Now, this is actually what happened to Bitcoin this year. You can see when Russia invaded the Ukraine, we had this drops. And what's happened progressively with Bitcoin over time is it has never come back up to a price that is conceivably able to be able to use the Bitcoin that has been held and stored. So each red circle represents the possible point where Bitcoin would have to be held by the company and be unable to be used. And in the case of what's happened over the last 3 months, that's occurred 9 separate occasions. So the company is never going to buy on a turn, but if they buy Bitcoin on an upward cycle, which would be what they would do, but then it turns, they immediately will stop paying out money and they will wait until they see the drop has ended. They'll confirm that it's actually turned and that it's going back up again, and possibly they will buy on that upturn. But it creates something that this creates what's known as the restoration value price, that this is the price here, the buying price is what Waskar needs to be kept at because of the loss of value to people who are getting their withdrawal requests paid in a Bitcoin value that's dropped. Now, what happens, the company will actually do is if the drop cycle starts to be very, very sharp, they will stop paying out ahead of it reaching this price because they know that by the time people actually get to cash their Bitcoin out, it will be below this price. So they will just automatically stop.
Go short. trade on short.
This is a chart showing what's happened over the last 6 months. Now you'll see this here is a chart that shows the numbers of times here they would have to stop and wait until the price grew back up again and got past this point where they could use any stored Bitcoin that hadn't been used in these dropping prices. So the company has got, and also the situation down here, that if it actually got that low, they may not even buy it while they're waiting for it to turn around. So looking at the last 6 months that the company's had to go through, there are, and I know for a fact there are millions of dollars held in Bitcoin right now that the company can't use. So it's not that they don't have the money to do it. At the moment, it's just an impractical spending of Bitcoin to actually be using it. So they just have to wait for it to come up. That's why the company pushed so hard and probably pushed too quickly to get our cards out to us. While Bitcoin remains in this unusable condition due to its price jumping all over the place, the hope that the company has is that through the use of the card, it will provide an income stream that will fill that void. In the meantime, the company is still paying out in Bitcoin, but they're buying smaller amounts of Bitcoin, and the manual payment system that they still have to use just makes the problem very much more difficult for them. But it's a problem that they just have to work through. The company are committed that before the Academy Trade Pack business actually closes down, which is going to happen when phase 2 ends and phase 2 begins, the company is committed that every person who participated in phase 1 will end up in profit before that actual closure occurs. The problem that Waska has added to with his timelines is that he's got a deadline that phase 2 is going to come, and phase 2 is coming once compliance is finally set up. Now, as of the making of this slide, and as of the last time I talked to John, which was yesterday, mid-September is still the date that they're looking to roll out phase 2. That hasn't changed. It's still their plan, but they acknowledge that the plan is not set in stone. It is what they're working to. It's what they want. But they also know that that means phase 1 is going to end, which also means that our Academy trade packs, as we know them today, are going to end because the company, to be compliant, is going to split into 2 separate businesses. One, the Academy business, which is going to be totally separate to the AAI trading business. Now, the company have set up for us a bridging company, which is the P2C company, which is going to be a company that will allow people to softly move from phase 1 to phase 2. P2C is also going to be a standalone company in phase 2. They were going to terminate it once phase 2 started and the Academy got underway, but they've realised that it's a very, very good income stream for people, and it's a very soft way that people can introduce CFX and the Academy and trading to people. The income side, and it's because one of the big things about it is the phase 2 income stream. Now, we've all seen this slide, so we know this. This is just a really quick example using a 3x3 building structure as to how valuable getting involved with P2C is actually going to be. We know that the pack price is $150. We know 100 of that is going to be available in commissions. So the 3x3, step 1, obviously, is you find 3 people. Bear in mind, the P2C does not have a 30-day cycle. It's not a cycling process. So how long it takes you to get the 3 people, and also bear in mind, you're looking for 3 business people. So you may end up with 6 or 7 people on your front level, but you're looking for 3 people who want to go and see the value of this and want to go build a 3x3. The second step, obviously, is you help those 3 people find 3 people. And that's your 3x3x1. That's the completion of your 3x3 step. The important thing to see in this, as I go back to it, is you can see here that it's cost you $150. You complete this 3x3 and you already have all your money back. So going forward, it's a pretty good deal. Now, the people that you first introduced, they're going to be doing their 3x3. So now we're looking at what's called the 3x3, and you're doing it twice, so it's by 2. At the end of that cycle, you have you've earned a nice tidy income for helping your team start to build. Now I've done it one more level because it's relative to this 1800 that I want to show people why it's important, why P2C is important to us. If you do this now, we've gone 3x3 and we've done it 3 times, you've now got your 4th level is looking like this, and you will have earned $1,800 from the company by doing this. If you deduct the $150 that it's cost you, you've got $1,650, which you can put towards your AA trading account. The value of that is in less than 1 year, at $1,650, untouched, would grow to $22,410, allowing you to then withdraw $275 every week, which is a pretty fair kick from $150 and a little bit of work. Also have a look at this. Remember the 120 people that have been built into this team, because we're going to come back to that in a little while. Now, this is just to show, going through the full 10 depths, the income potential of this in its fullest extension, and it's why the company are going to keep this open right the way through phase 2 until you actually fill up all of your levels, however many years, months, or however long that'll take. Bear in mind this asterisk, because we're going to come back to that also later in this presentation. So the company is creating for us 3 income streams. What they're also doing, though, is Wasco is going to be building other income streams that are going to be there to help fund different avenues and present the company in different ways to different people to make phase 2 a very, very successful phase. P2C, though, is not a mandatory program. If you feel that you can get from phase 1 to phase 2 and not be involved in it, you do not have to do it. If you feel you can bring your team across, you do not in your team. Nobody has to do it. It's not a mandatory function. It is purely being set up by the company. If you're a bare income earner in phase 1 and you would like to have a downline, you would like to have a lineage, you would like to have the benefits of having one, the company have created a program and a platform that will allow you to move into phase 2 and build a lineage in the process of doing it. You need to also bear in mind and remember that P2C is freely given to active bull income members of phase 1 company. So if you are one of those people, it would be a really good tool to jump in, have a look at, get your head around and see what's actually in it, because it's an amazing product from the bits and pieces that I've seen of it. So the P2C is going to be a countdown stroke introduction tool for the company to use. And it's going to run for 60 to 90 days as a lead-in, as a countdown tool for P2. P2C will provide an immediate income stream. Wascar's got $20 million put aside to fund this as a kickoff to get it moving. And P2C will actually teach people how to build a lineage and why having a lineage is valuable. As we're showing it to people, this is the kicker for me, is that any person wanting to build any type of business, whether it's lawn mowing round, a hairdressing salon, an electrician, and any business, any other network marketing business, CFX business, any person wanting to build any kind of business will be able to use the P2C program, because the P2C program will provide incredibly robust marketing tools, and it will also, as we've seen, provide funding to help you get your IIA account started. Now, the company has got a problem in timing.
Can I ask you to expand there and tell people what a IIA account is, Richard?
Yeah, just wait, Ron. Just you're asking questions. This isn't Q&A yet. I will, but you just wait till the end of the presentation, because I cover it very soon. Phase 2 countdown has got to be a lead into phase 2, and if phase 2 is going to be the middle of September, then it has to be released. And they've decided that with the problems that they had originally, they wanted to release the debit card ahead of this, but with the delays that they've had with the joint debit cards, it's now going to be joint released, and that's going to occur in the next 7 to 10 days. So in the next few days in your debit card in B&B back office, the verification reset button is going to occur. There'll be a button there that if you're one of these people that is stuck in the analysing stage, that you've been there and it's stuck in one of those loops, you simply will press that button. It will cancel your current verification request and allow you to redo a new one. And the people that I've spoken to in recent days who are doing those are now getting these done in 15 to 20 minutes it's taking now to get done. The other thing B&B have added to the process is a GPS tracking system, which will allow people who all live in the one household, but they don't have a utility bill in their name, that you will be able to use a utility bill. If someone is in that household that has a verified account, you will be able to use that utility bill to verify your account, even though your name is not on that utility bill. And that's a pretty good step forward. The B&B back office is going to be open very shortly, and in there you will see the limits and the fees, and all the details about your card will be advised there. And like I say, that's something that they believe is going to be 7 to 10 days. The company's phase 2 payment plans is that obviously we know most of these, that there'll be brokerage accounts, our debit card, we'll have Bitcoin, and we will also have other cryptos, and Wascar's got other cryptos and other methods of payment that he's working on to allow a wide variety of payments to occur in phase 2. Ron, this bit's for you. IIA trading. My team have got a whole in-depth presentation on this, so this is just a really quick overview of it. The evolution of the trading information, this is just a quick slide to show how it's come over the years. The use to traders would originally, they would send a foot messenger. I can remember when I was a kid running around the city when I first started work, you would see the corps of commissionaires doing their foot slogs around town. Then it was upgraded to the use of telegrams, then telephones, and you can see pages, emails, text messages, copy trading, and now we are at the IIA trading evolution. This is where we've got to so far. Now, IIA trading stands for individual intuitive automatic trading. That's what IIA is. It's a jumbling up of AI, artificial intelligence, to just give it a deeper meaning. The individual bit is that everything is done in our individual accounts. The trades, they are tailor-made and adjusted for every member's account size. We have the 100% withdrawal control over our individual accounts, and we also can trade in our accounts should we want to. Very, very important is this thing of zero capital movement. The only way money is going to move, the capital is going to move out of your account is if they have a trading loss. Other than that, your capital cannot move other than you move it. Intuitive is that all analysis of the markets, collection of data, execution of trades, reconciliation of our accounts is AI robotically undertaken. The robots are intuitive as they can adjust to each individual account, and they also have the capacity to adjust their trading executions as they are trading. So if they make a trade that doesn't go exactly as they believed it was going to go, they can look at the data, they can adjust their trading technique, and they can do that themselves without having to be reprogrammed to do it. It's automatic trading because it is completely hands-off trading for us. The trading team in Panama sets the take profit levels, they set the stop loss levels, and they also set the cessation of trading activity. All we are ever going to have to do is simply get on a device and watch it if we wish. What the company is going to deliver in this next step of evolution, or in the evolution of automatic trading, is a huge step up from copy trading. Now, when you talk to people about this being copy trading, the first thing they're going to do is do a Google search of copy trading, read up on all of that, and they will have no reason to get back to anybody to talk to them again because they've got all the answers about copy trading. The reason why I refer to this as IA is if they did a Google search on that, they won't find anything. So they have to come back to me and ask me what is IA trading. It's just a way of getting people to come back to you, to talk to you, so you can be the source of information and not Google. So why does the company want to get to IA trading as soon as possible? Well, I've used my team as just a straw poll of the company. My team has brought $5 million into CFX with a team size of 1,000 people, making an average Academy trade pack of $5,000. If we scale that down a pack, it means for the case of the example I'm just about to show you, we're using a 3,000 Academy trade pack, which has a 2,100 trading pool size. Please don't get back to me and tell me, oh, the company said that. This is my assessment. This is Richard Bonnell's overview of things. This is not a corporate thing. Don't ring up Waskar and say, I heard this, I heard that. This is Richard's view on things. The company size is 315,000 members. If the average trading pool size is $2,100, it means the total under trade each day is $661.5 million. If the gross weekly return on trading is 9%, and I don't believe that's a ridiculously high figure for AI trading, and the RIP, which is the reduction in profit, which is the company's fees, is 30%, the numbers work out like this. The gross weekly returns in dollars is $59.5 million. If you take the RIP out, that's 17.8 million. It means the payout to members is going to be $41,674. This is the figure that Waskar has his eye on because this is his. He gets to run his business. He gets to do the things that he wants to do the expansions, do pay back all of the money that they've put into the office in Panama, everything they're doing comes out of this. This is another big figure for Oscar, because this is going into our broker accounts. He no longer has to make himself concerned with getting money to people. We will sort out through the broker how we want to get our money out, whether it's in cash, card, or in crypto. Whatever we decide to do, we can do it. He no longer has the concern. So that's why he would like to get to double IA trading as quick as possible. Why we want to get there is, remember this figure back here when we were doing our P2C, this 1650. What this shows you is a chart that shows you on day one, there's the parameters there, but on day one, if you opened your account with $1,650, at the end of day one, you would earn $20.63. You can take that $20 out of your account if you wanted to. If you take money out at the end of day one, you've got to be aware that means day two, you're going to start back at 1650. So every time you take money out, you will impede the growth and the future earning capacity of your team. So what these numbers represent, a day 10 figure, each assumes that you have not touched your money in the previous 10 days. You'll let it compound at the end of each day, and your earning would be, you could start taking out $23 a day. If you follow this down to day 100, which is in about 20 weeks' time, you would be able to take out $70 every day once you got to day 100. If you follow it across to day 210, which is around about 42 weeks from the time you started, you would be able to take out $276 every day. Now, if you did that, if you took it out every day, your account would not grow further than what it is at that point. So if you remember the slide that I talked about when we talked about this earlier, I said to take it out each day, each week. So you would be able to take $275 a week, which will leave you with an account that is continuing to grow each week that you only take out one day's earnings. If you remember the asterisk on that page too, the value of getting, either if you have got a good bull income already in CFX, then your account in P2C is going to be quite sizable. If you haven't got that, but you want to get involved in it, then if you build up your P2C business, it may be that you can start off your deposit with $5,000. If you do that at the end of day one, you would be able to take out $62.50. Same thing applies if you go right through to day 210, you would be able to take out $838 every day of trading 5 days a week if you start off with $5,000. You can also look at using your Academy Trade Pack when phase 2 starts. Very soon after that starting, you're going to the renew or upgrade button is going to disappear from our Academy Trade Packs. The only thing left for us to do will be to cap out that Academy Trade Pack and then withdraw the money, and hopefully we would be smart enough to roll over the money from our Academy Trade Packs into double IA trading. Bearing in mind and always remember this zero capital movement feature. There's a lot of trading platforms that exist in the world today, but if you put your money into them and something happens to the principal company, you lose your money. If something happens with a regulated broker zero capital movement account, if something happens to CFX or even to the broker, your money is still held in a controlled account. Just for the information so you can have a look at some people, if you've got larger size Academy Trade Packs, when you cap them out, if you were, say, for example, if you were to deposit 15,000, or if you had $15,000 cash you wanted to put into it, on day one, you would be able to take out $188 every day of trading. But if you left it there for 30 days, that would go to $269 a day. So that's just to give some idea why we want double IA trading to come in. Getting back to other things that we need to be aware of, Bitcoin withdrawals are still ongoing on the manual system. The company has not got the automated system up and running, and it may not actually be fully functional till just before phase 2 starts. But the company Huascar is genuinely committed to every member being in profit by the cessation of P1. The Bitcoin price is going to determine whether all withdrawals are paid out by the time P2 starts, but it is hoped that if it's possible for the Bitcoin price to come up, then everybody will. The next thing that John and I talk about, and we've sort of, it's a little bit unknown, but there are some things that we know about it, is the new style of the Academy. What we do know is that you must be an active member of the Academy to participate in double IA trading, even though the two companies are very, very separate. There is no link toward, there's no connection to the two companies. You have to be an active Academy account holder to participate in double IA trading. The Academy is going to have a more recognisable network marketing model, also in that it's going to have a monthly fee. It's been discussed that it seems to be a more accepted form of network marketing. This monthly fee, people are more suspicious when we actually tell people that there are no ongoing fees, because it's something that is very hard for them to get their head around. Rather than fighting it, the company have come back to embracing it. That this monthly fee will be offset from double IA earnings, from P2C earnings, as well as in-house Academy activity. This monthly fee, and this is really, really important, that this monthly fee is not proportional, or is it linked to your double IA account balance. So whatever the balance is you have in your double IA account, your Academy trade pack, your Academy fees and your monthly Academy fee is not tied to the size of your double IA account. What is really cool to remember though, when we're talking about these, every time someone in your team renews their Academy pack, you get paid. And what do we know from our past experience of phase 1? That is what we would call a uni-level bonus. So that's the way uni-level bonuses are going to be accrued in phase 2. In our earlier example, we had 120 people in our team. If the average uni-level bonus earned over those 120 people was just $2, then our uni-level bonus will be $240 per month earned. The value of that to us is that the bonuses become a more stable, bankable number. So it's something that you will be able to more budget, rather than the uni-level bonus at the moment that's paid on an upgrade, where we don't exactly know when that is going to be. The important thing also is that as those 120 people who were all trading and earning money from the double IA trading each day, is that they're never going to quit paying their account fee. That monthly fee, you can almost guarantee, will never ever become delinquent, which means your uni-level bonuses become stable. So if you think about that, just bear in mind and think about what would happen if you had 200 or 300 people in your team. And getting people to join the P2C will introduce many people to the Academy. And when they come into the academy, you'll just earn what we would know as our fast start bonus, because that's what's going to happen when people join the academy under phase 2. That's where the fast start bonus will come from. So you do need to have, we all need to have a deeper understanding of the bigger picture of what P2C is to understand how it integrates into the phase 2 program. If you have shown P2C to someone and they see the value of it, they will come to you asking for more information, or I would be certainly approaching them and I would be telling them about the opportunity that lies in IIA trading. And if they like what they see, you would then show them the easy way to get to IIA trading, and that's through having an academy account and then getting their money and depositing it into the broker account. Now, all of these other businesses that Huascar is going to create in phase 2, whilst like P2C, they have a standalone income in their own right, they are all going to be a soft way that we can introduce IIA trading and the academy to new people. So if you want more people in your academy team, if you've got more people, you'll simply just build a bigger income stream in the actual academy side of the company. The academy is also going to have their own inbuilt incentives. Now, Huascar at this stage has not told us what they are, but he has told us that they'll be things that we will be extremely impressed with, and it's done to incentivize people to upgrade their status. And when they do that, then the sponsor is actually paid for that upgrade, and that will be another type of fast start bonus. If a person moves money from their academy account, their sponsor will get paid, and of course we know that as being the matrix. And people will move their money from their academy account and trying to keep as much money in their IIA trading, so it will come from their academy, and they will do that to either pay their own monthly fees, to transfer additional funds into IIA trading, to simply upgrade their academy status, or even to take funds for personal use. So there's going to be lots of reasons for people to be withdrawing money, which will generate a matrix payment. The company is firmly believes that they're committed to building what is an eruption, an IRR eruption, in the hands-off trading arena, as well as in the network marketing area. And what an eruption is that if there is a sudden spike of growth in one section of an ecosystem, that is usually associated with something positive. That is the dictionary definition of an eruption. And Huascar feels that we are right on track to be able to do that in the trading and also network marketing industry. He acknowledges readily that the road over the last 15 months has not been easy. He is not trying to patronise people or be condescending when he says that. He truly acknowledges that, and he is, you will notice over the next little while, you will not see him speaking as much as he used to. He's stuck, he feels in between a rock and a hard place. Whatever he seems to say, people jump on him, twist it round, and it seems to fuel a lot of negativity in the community. The lesser of the two evils is to stop talking and hope people like myself and Ron and Janet and Najma and other people who are, and Andy Shakespeare, I noticed he was there, and Andy and Mick Worth, and those people will talk for him doing these sorts of presentations and hold people together to let him get the job done. He believes that the movement into phase 2 is so close that he can sort of sense it, and he wants us all to know that we are nearly there and to be excited about being nearly there. So that's the gist of the presentation that John gives me. Now, this is a footnote that I'm adding to it, what I haven't spoken to John about, is I'm not allowed to, apparently it's politically incorrect to say people can be emotionally crippled, but if you find sincerely, and I'm not being silly about it, if you are emotionally unable to connect with the company at the moment because of the circumstances that have gone on in the last 15 months, and if you simply just don't believe anymore, then I want to suggest this to you. Please, sometimes just sit back, watch and observe, and people will show you who they are without you having to say a word. If you need to vent, can it please not be done in social media? It is not helping anybody, certainly not helping the company. You may feel better by spouting off a whole lot of stuff and venting. It is better that you get on the phone to one of your upline leaders, to Ron, to Mick, to Andy, to Janet, whoever. And if you have to have a vent there. We only have to wait now 7 to 10 days. Now, when they're talking about rolling these two things out together, it may be a day apart. If the cards roll out and on the same day P2C doesn't roll out, don't get stressed about it. They are very, very close to happening. We have only got such a short time to wait. Please try and control what we're saying in public media areas, because there are people that are trolling those sites, looking for things they can latch onto, and just it makes Waskar's time so much more difficult. And Ron, that completes this presentation, and we will stop sharing the screen.
Right. Richard, first of all, on behalf of everyone, I want to give you, I don't know about a full clap, but I certainly think your presentation warrants, at the very least, a 2-finger clap. So I want to thank you on behalf of everyone. It was so very informative. Right, we haven't got much time, guys, and we've got a lot of questions. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, and Richard will ask them.
Okay, I just got to get out. How do I get out of this? How do I get out? How do I stop screen sharing?
You have to ask someone else, because I'm not very techy.
Should be at the top of your screen, Richard. Just stop share.
It's not coming down because it's still recording. Can you just stop recording just a minute?
I'm just going to go to the chat. Where's the chat? There we are.
So,
I'm just getting to the beginning. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Here we go.
Mr. Shakespeare normally has all the questions, doesn't he?
First one. When will the reset button appear on the Bull and Bear site, Richard? That's from Wendy Harrison.
Okay, Wendy. Those dates, all what I know, and this is all I can pass on to you, is 7 to 10 days the entire system is up and running. Now that's money going into your accounts and everything. So it has to be sometime in this coming week, in the next 7 to 10 days. If we're going to be operational, it has to be ahead of that.
Right, excellent. The next call is from Ashna. Surely we just need to educate people on Bitcoin, so it's not CFX's problem. Just a thought. That's from Ashna.
Yeah, look, that's true. Unfortunately, it's something that is just, and I'm not being nasty or horrible, but people just don't look deeply into an issue. They react emotionally because they're hurting or they're frustrated, which is, and I'm not patronising anyone to say I understand that, but if you want to not be frustrated, you have to look at why something's happening. There is no upside. There is no upside for the company to jerk people around. So if they're getting jerked around, there's a reason for it. And it's a reason that is just beyond Waskar's control right now, with the amount of Bitcoin that is sitting in the company exchange that he simply can't use because it is so valueless at the moment.
Okay, thank you, Richard. The next one is from Frank. He said, can you confirm, Richard, what you showed us is indeed the manual withdrawal cycle and not the automated?
No, we're definite. Yeah, absolutely. We are on the manual system.
Great. This is from AD. Is this the reason why our trade figures have been so low recently to make up for the loss of company revenue due to the Bitcoin price drop?
No, they're two totally separate things. You're trading in a fiat currency world and you're converting it to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin drops in value, you simply would be paid out in more Bitcoin. The issue that we have, if you look
Sorry, Richard. Richard, sorry, muted.
No, that's all right. Okay. Now, look, if you look at the world's markets right across the board, you look at the S&P 500, look at NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, the London Exchange, every market is down and down massively. It's really big, and the company's trading results are a reflection of that. And the company have a policy of when they reach a profit-taking position, which is 1% of capital, or they reach a loss on a day, they simply stop trading for that day. They don't keep going. That's a risk management policy. It protects our money. It's a safe way to trade. But at the moment, every stock and index, if you look at them, are down the toilet, and we're in the same boat because we're trading in the same market. It's got nothing to do with company profit taking.
The next one is from Lillian Morgan. Does that mean, Richard, the Academy trade packages will indeed come to an end?
Yes.
Good. Hold on.
Thanks. See, I can give short answers.
Yeah, that's who is this from? This is from Alan Ball. Thanks for explaining that, Richard. For those who don't understand, my question was the solution CFX will implement over the next 2 years in order to pay out BTC in a timely manner. I don't want to miss the bear
that
market.
Will be, yeah. Now, automated processing system, from what John has discussed with me, will probably kick in just prior to phase 2 beginning.
Great.
So
Frank
we've still got another month.
Lovely. Frank says, how will P2C be paid out, Richard?
P2C is paid out in Bitcoin, but it's going to be paid. It's not paid out through the Academy Trade Pack system. It's paid out totally separately, and because we will roll out that system, or the company will roll out that system, they will know exactly when they're going to do it, so they can buy the appropriate Bitcoin and distribute it straight away.
Excellent. Lillian Morgan again. Will, with the Trading Academy being separated from the trading itself, Richard, does that mean that the trading accounts will then trade at 100% as opposed to the current 70%?
Correct, yes. Whatever money you put into copy trading will be 100% into copy trading.
Great. Good question from Alan. Will there still be I think I know the answer to this, but over to you. Will there still be the 20% withdrawal cost for P2C, for P2C?
I don't know if it'll be 20%, but there still will be a matrix payment, which is coming from the tribute payment. So the tribute payment will still go ahead.
Great. We've got one from AD. What are the issues causing the delay with the B&B card? I think you've covered that, Richard. But
yeah, the interface. There's three interfaces that they have to line up. They've got to line up the MasterCard one, the B&B one, and the company one. And they just found that there were parts of those programs that didn't talk to each other properly, and that created a dilemma in getting information transferred fast and properly.
Okay, Joe Booth, who owns the B&B platform, Richard?
Who owns it?
Who owns it? Was that the Blackthorn Finance or?
Well, they own it, but whoever owns Blackthorn Finance, look, I'm not aware of who those people are. It's not really relevant.
Okay, Paul Fanner, what will happen to the funds generated in phase one? Would it be possible to transfer the funds you've got in phase one over to the II account trade?
Yes, once you can make a withdrawal from your Academy Trade Pack once you've got $100. So I certainly intend to do it with mine. My Academy Trade Pack won't cap out for a little while after phase two starts. So what I intend to do is I will withdraw my money each week and transfer it straight across. Oh, excuse me. And transfer it straight across into my II account.
Sounds good. Jan Lewis, what happens to the 5-year plan to reach 100K if you are a bear-only member?
Okay, well, it goes down the toilet basically because your earnings are going to be so much greater through II than what they are in an Academy Trade Pack, and you're going to be trading on 100% of your money. So the whole 5-year plan becomes obsolete.
Yeah. Russell wants clarity. I'm looking for clarity. When it goes to copy trading or phase two, whatever my understanding is, only the balance values go into copy trading, nothing from packs. 2 packs will be allowed to top out at the level that they're at when CT starts, and that's it. If your pack is 20K, it can go to 40K. Therefore, why upgrade? Surely it's better to leave the balance to go high, so more of this goes into CT. Have I got this right, Richard?
Look, I understand that argument. Probably the question that I have in that is that if you do that and there's a delay in the trading thing getting underway and it doesn't trade and it doesn't open till October and November, it means you've got money sitting in a balance earning you nothing. So you're making a decision in not upgrading your Academy Trade Pack. You're making a decision based on an assumption that it's all going to run smoothly and go well, which is fine. You make that decision. If it turns out to be the wrong one, then you're just going to have to, that's a consequence of making a decision. There's not much you can do about it, but it's a fair question, and it's probably an argument, a fair discussion that you can have that says to sit on it and wait the 6 or 7 weeks. Well, yeah, if you do that, you're going to have to wait 6 or 7 weeks. But if it goes for months longer.
Lillian Morgan said, would be good to have some sort of compounding feature available if they're going to get rid of the trading packages. I think you've gone through that, Richard.
Yeah, well, what's interesting in that example that I gave, the trades were compounded at the end of the day. In actual fact, the compounding effect is going to occur by trade. So once a trade is done and settled, and then another trade is conducted, then it will be on whatever your new account balance is. So you could find that in any one day, you could have several compounding effects occur in one day.
Yes. Paul Fanner, would it be possible to roll over the capped out amount from the current packs to the IAA without BTC withdrawal?
No, they're two separate companies.
Oh, right. Okay. Jan Lewis, what happens to the contract of 200% return, especially Bear members?
Well, that stays because your Academy pack doesn't cap out until you reach your 200%. So you can be taking your money out each week and transferring it into copy trading, but that account will continue to be active until either you close it or it caps out at 200%.
Good question from Russell. Will our existing team members be moved across as part of our team automatically?
Yes.
Great. Frank again.
Now, bear in mind, hang on, let me just add to that. Bear in mind, we all have to re-sign in the new company. So if you are a good team leader, your team will follow you and use your referral links and all that sort of stuff, and you will do that sort of thing. So it would be a good idea now, if you've got a team under you, to touch base with them all, let them know what's going on. So when we do move, they move in your lineage and move with you.
To keep it right, yeah. Frank says, I know the current trading program software like PAMM for the trading account is not sufficient to work with such high amount of people. Will the IAA software of the broker be able to not disturb the ongoing trades? I don't understand that.
Yes, yeah, no, I understand that question. And yeah, what the company have created, and they've created it with the broker, and this is what's going to make our trading very uniquely different. They have created a program of their own that delivers right across the board exactly that problem that you're talking about. They've eliminated and to such a point that the broker that they've been doing it with wants to join the company and form a company with CFX to market that particular trading package. It's a very exciting package. I've been hearing about it, and it's insanely good.
Great answer. Paul Fanner says, are the physical cards, also going to start rolling out in 7 to 10 days as well, Richard?
No.
No, it's a little bit too early for them.
Yep.
Someone said, thank you for the exceptional presentation. Thank you, thank you. They all said that the 2-finger clap wasn't enough, but you get what you're given in life. Richard, thank you again for an exceptional presentation. I hope everyone feels like, well, I always did feel positive, but in my world, the CFX glass is not half empty after seeing that presentation. In my opinion, and what do I know, it is very, very half full. Richard, on behalf of everyone, thank you again.
Ron, sorry to interrupt you. I did put a question at the bottom. I put a question at the very bottom which you hadn't got to.
Oh, I'm sorry, carry on.
No, it's all right, Richard. Just Ron, just quickly, Richard. My understanding, you might need to correct me on this, is that BNB card will be able to use to move our monies out of CFX across into the IIA trading company. That's right, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Lovely. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I think we're going to let Richard go now. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for coming on the call. I hope you got as much out of it as I did. Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you.
Thanks,